Meanwhile, African leaders are meeting in neighbouring Mauritania from Sunday for a two-day summit. The summit will focus on the continent's security challenges and more so the instability in the Sahel region. French President Emmanuel Macron, who joins the talks on Monday, will push for a security initiative in the Sahel. The joint G5 Sahel force is fighting jihadist groups in the region. It's scheduled to pool 5,000 troops from Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, Mauritania and Niger. It was supposed to be fully up and running by March, but has faced numerous delays amid funding concerns.
The African Union has given its support to the G5 Sahel, including the joint G5 Sahel force. So the AU summit is an opportunity for the heads of state to reaffirm their commitment.
The African strategy to resolve conflicts without resorting to weapons is struggling to assert itself. Tensions persist in Libya, Mali and Central Africa in particular, despite the Nouakchott summit taking place in a context of relative calm.
Well, let's get to the latest now from Mauritania. CGTN's Robert Nagila joins us on the line from the capital, Nouakchott. Robert, of course, we understand that security has had to be beefed up at the AU summit in Mauritania, and that follows that attack just across the border in Mali. What more can you tell us about this?
Lindy, compared to about 3 days ago when we arrived here in the capital, there's definitely a very visible and increased security presence in and around the capital city. Virtually every street corner you go to, there's a police car with various security agents on that street, heavily armed as well. On the highway towards the complex where the AU summit is taking place, you come across military forces in and around the desert near the highway. So there is an increased presence. I can tell you, for example, that just last night at about 10:30, 11 p.m., intelligence officers knocked on our doors, took our passports away, went to photocopy them, and it does appear that they're trying to ascertain exactly whether the visitors who've come into the country are who they say they are. Now, to be fair to them, we can't really say whether this is connected to the incident that happened in Mali, the attack in Mali. But safe to say, yes, there is a very heavy security presence in and around the capital as we speak. Lindy?
High security indeed, Roberts, and it certainly does highlight just the extent to which security remains a major challenge for Africa's leaders. Just talk us through how this issue will be prioritized at the summit.
Well, security is a major issue, especially here in the Sahel region where you've had jihadist militants trying to overrun elected governments. So this is a major concern. Remember that in Mali is where you have the headquarters of the Sahel G5 group. They also have a presence here. And really from the point where we walked in, you could see that this was not just a normal security situation. There's heavily armed presence. The fact that they're expecting presidents and leaders from other countries to come in, they know that they have to take this seriously. Now, the jihadist threat is one that is also going to be on the table when French President Emmanuel Macron comes into town. We expect him on Sunday. He's scheduled to be here, but he may actually come in on Monday. But that will definitely be on the table. France has been a major contributor to the G5 and has helped in fighting the jihadist threat in this particular region. It's not over yet. All the leaders here realize that, and they know that if they don't come up with a sustainable solution, it is likely to spread across the region. So they're not taking this lightly, definitely. But there are other issues as well that are going to be on the agenda. You've got the South Sudan agreement. The leaders here will be seeking guarantees from both parties, that's President Salva Kiir and Dr. Machar as well, that this agreement can be sustained so that life can get some semblance of normality. People can start rebuilding their lives as well. And then just this afternoon, in another couple of hours, you've got the Women in Power, Women Empowerment Summit, which is going to be led by Rwanda's President Paul Kagame. But also, just quickly, let's not forget that the theme for this year's conference is corruption, which is a major, major problem across several African countries, because there's a realization on the ground here that it is an impediment to economic empowerment for the people of the AU's member states. Something needs to be done about it urgently. They need to find a way to tackle it, but it remains a huge, huge headache for most African countries. Lily?
Oh, indeed, a very packed agenda for the AU summit. Thanks very much for that update. Robert Nagila joining us there from Nouakchott, Mauritania.